Hello guys, it's Sendou here again. So yesterday I asked a bit of ideas what kind of videos to make on Twitter, and I got some pretty good answers. But some of the ideas are more of a bigger projects that I will undertake at a later date. I have some good ideas for sure, but for some of them I prefer to wait for the next big patch and so on. But there is like this then one topic that I see pretty frequently, and that's just generally like blaster videos, blaster guides. I might tackle this at one point at a more comprehensive level, where I actually try to make a really like a full guide on this. But there's, I think, one really important concept that I wanted to talk about a bit today. And if you don't know, I've been playing blasters on and off since 2015, basically like my main weapon, more or less. The whole time I've been playing Splatoon, and yeah, I've had some time to think about how you should be playing this weapon optimally and so on. But we're gonna talk about a very specific thing today, and that's just generally how you should be aiming. So, if for some reason you don't know how blaster works, there might be someone who doesn't. Well, how it works is that you direct someone, great, that's one hit KO always. At least with all the real blasters, but yeah. If you don't direct and still hit the enemy, we can call it an indirect, okay, that's pretty simple, right? And normally you need 3 of those to kill the enemy, so of course, yeah, direct is really the way to go, since that's really the fastest way to kill an enemy. And if you miss the direct, then that's gonna take a long time for you to kill the enemy, right? So that's like weird quirk of the weapon, really, where you are alternating with either really fast kill time or rather slow kill time. So here's the thing. I see quite a few people say things like, oh, this player is godlike blaster player. They only go for directs. What's the problem here? What's the problem when you think about it? Like, it's reasonable. Like, if they only go for directs, they're only going for the lowest kill time, right? They're always going for the fastest kills and so on. Well, the way I see this personally is that you shouldn't always be making yourself in the situation where you have to hit a direct, because here's something of a fact. It doesn't matter how long you play this game, you won't be hitting every direct. It doesn't matter how good you get. It's just impossible. There's so many variables in hitting a direct. You can't control the enemy movement. Yeah, if your enemies were like this, then you probably could get to a point where you could hit every direct. But as long as your enemies are not like this, and you're not playing Splatfest where they might be like this, then hitting every direct is not feasible. And let's think about situation where we are trying to we're definitely trying to go for direct and we miss it. What often happens is that either you miss completely, so deal no damage, or you hit a floor shot, dealing not over 50 damage. This is very bad, of course, because when you think about it, if you miss a shot, then of course you're more or less dead, unless your enemy makes big mistakes. If you hit a floor shot, you're more or less dead, because even if you hit like second indirect, it still doesn't kill. So I think really the core of good classic gameplay is putting yourself into a situation where you can get most out of the weapon. And here we come with indirects. Like, there's so many situations where you can hit indirects where they can't even see you, they can't even possibly shoot at you, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to put myself into a situation where I would be forced to like hit like insane directs to get the kill, where I should be always going for a situation where I'm the most likely to get a kill, right? So in many situations, what this means is pretty like, it's not really impressive gameplay, I know, to hit like 2 shots and get the kill that way, but in a real game you always have to go for risk, right? But you shouldn't be taking risk when you don't need to take a risk, because with a risk it always fundamentally is going to involve a chance for that situation to go wrong. So yeah, for sure, some situation you have to go for direct, and for sure it's one aspect of a good blaster player is hitting those directs and, you know, being able to play that way. But in quite a few situations, I think even more important skill is just spacing and placing yourself in a good way so that you win your encounters and so on. So I think what you should take away from this video is this, that don't think of Blaster as something that is only about the directs and basically a failure if you don't hit a direct or something. I think optimally you're putting yourself in a situation where if you hit a direct, great. If you don't, then you at least get the plus 50 damage. That's good. That's optimal. That's what you should be going for. What is not optimal is if you don't hit a direct, then boom, no damage. That's not optimal. So you should always keep yourself at a good distance from the target. So if you don't hit a direct, then it deals 50 damage. And well, if you're playing against blasters, then here's a tip for you. Like if you outspace them like this, then it makes really much harder for them to kill you and all around deal with an enemy that's rushing you down like that. So once again, the takeaway here is not Sendou said, stop going for directs, always go for 2 shots or you're a noob. No. The takeaway here is that I think when you're playing a blaster, you should value placement over anything else. And yeah, keep improving. I think blaster is definitely the kind of weapon that is very viable right now. You definitely can make it work, but you need to put a lot of effort to it. It's not like old days where you could, anyone could have a blaster side weapon and do well with it. So also just encouragement to people to keep playing blaster. I think it has potential, I think it has a future. Just it's not a noob weapon. It's not an easy weapon. It's just not anymore. But you can make it work. And hope this video was helpful. Hope it gave you some fresh thinking. If not, then too bad. I hope the next one I do will be different. But if yes, then that's good. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video next week.